Hey guys, it's me Jewel, and I am your Friday here on PAL. If you've seen any of the other videos from this week in this theme, you would know that it is positivity. So I'm going to be talking about body positivity because it is something that I encourage and I always have encouraged because I've gotten a lot of criticism over my body ever since I was younger because I'm really, really thin, and that's obvious, that's so clear. Body image is something that a lot of teenagers struggle with, and I, in fact, love myself and my body. I thought that I could just tell you guys my path to loving myself and getting to know myself and my body. So since I was very young, I've always been very thin. When I was a baby, I was actually a lot bigger. My arm was bigger than it is now. As I grew up, I lived in Africa, actually. I'm from Africa, Nairobi, Kenya, and I don't remember it much, but I do remember growing up, I kind of, got thinner as time progressed. My mom moved to America, so my mom wasn't necessarily there to, monitor my eating, so I got a lot thinner as I grew up, and I guess that my body shape was destined to be skinny. So I did have a little point in time where I wasn't healthy. I didn't eat or anything like that because it's just kind of how I grew up. I had little portions of things, not because we were poor or anything, just because it's kind of how I grew up. I had an older sister who fed me and basically took care of me from the time I was 3 until I was 6. And then my mom came back and got us, and we moved to America in the tiny state of Indiana. I lived there for a long time, and while I was there, I did struggle with eating, and I got told a lot in elementary school. I don't remember it much. All the teachers would be like, is Jewel eating? Does she have enough food? Or why is Jewel so skinny? Or people would be like, oh my god, look at your little wrist. They still do that to this day. But, I mean, at that point, I was underweight. I was very underweight. And, it was kind of hard because I never really understood why people always, looked at me weird. You remember, though, one time I was at the hospital and I was getting my checkup because you need checkups for the doctor and such. And he asked my mom why I was so thin. And, she was like, it's just kind of how she is. We're working on it. And she always did try to work on it. She kind of told me, you need to eat, you need to do this, you need to do that, so that you can become what everybody else tells you that you should be, basically. When we went to the hospital, he asked if I had AIDS, which, I mean, that is something kind of personal, but I'm fine with it. My mom isn't very fond of the idea, and she didn't, appreciate it. I obviously didn't appreciate it because I was a child, and I knew what AIDS was, and I knew that everybody thought it was disgusting, and I was afraid, do I have AIDS? Am I disgusting? How did I get AIDS? I'm literally 8 years old. No, I don't have AIDS. Never had AIDS. I've never had anything similar to AIDS at all. My mom was really upset at that point, and we had to change my doctor and such, and that's just kind of an instance that I remember. And every doctor that I've had has told me, oh, Jewel, you're really skinny, and you're really this and that and this and that. And if you saw Nicole's video, which was very negative, and I refused to even use that as my inspiration for this video because she's just a negative person, and body positivity is supposed to be positivity, and I don't want to bring negative energy into this video. Please say that basically in the video that I will link down below, all she did was talk about how body image is important and how you should look how society tells you to look, because she was saying, if you want to be body positive, you need to eat healthy and stop being obese. Recently, as a teenager, I've gotten used to a lot more people hating themselves and their bodies for some odd reason, but I've been told multiple times, yeah, I hate myself, or I'm so ugly, I'm so fat, by people who clearly aren't, and by people who look the complete opposite of what they say. A few weeks ago, I went to Maurice's with my sister and my sister's friends, and we went to look for some clothes for her, and she prefers baggier stuff. I think she's absolutely beautiful. We were looking for some sweaters for her because she liked oversized sweaters, so we went to the plus size section to look for sweaters for her. This lady, she was the regular, just a regular body shape, how society kind of says that you should look, kind of have butt and boobs, but also have a thin waist. She was in the plus size section. She stopped my sister and I, and obviously we're very skinny, and she was like, you do know that you're not going to be able to find anything here for you guys. And then she looked at us up and down because of how skinny we were, and I was flabbergasted. I can never bite my tongue. I cannot enunciate and say that enough. Then my sister was like, oh no, we're just looking for stuff for my friend. And then she like looked at me, and then I was like this close to going off on that lady. Like, I cannot tell you how much I hate body shaming. Whether it's somebody body shaming themselves, I hate that. Or somebody else body shaming someone else. Oh my god. So, I look at this lady, and I'm like this close to going off on her. Pardon? I've gotten a lot of that. Like, people are always like, just because you're skinny, like, you're the perfect weight, you shouldn't feel bad about your body, which I don't. You should love yourself, and this and that, and this and that, this. People are always like, oh my god, you're so skinny, and I'm just like, thanks, I know. And then they're like, but it's good, you should love yourself. I'm like, I do. And they're like, oh, wow. I'm like, yeah, ooh, don't body shame, ever. And like, they can't control their body shape or the things that happen to their body, but they can control, like, you know, how much they weigh and such, and whether they love themselves. How much someone weighs or what somebody looks like isn't my business. I don't care. If that person loves themselves, boom, automatically we're friends, because you love yourself, and I love positive energy, and body positivity is my favorite energy, because I like compliments that aren't, like, among the face. If somebody comes up to you and they're like, Jewel, like, your, that shirt really compliments your body. I'm just like, wow, thank you. Like, you literally just made my entire day. Like, there's nothing anybody could say to bring me down, because at that point in my life, I struggled with body image a lot. This is kind of a little more deep than I'd like to go, but, there has been a point in my life where I didn't like myself, and I didn't like my body, and I wasn't very cautious towards my health, and I didn't really care about what anybody says, like, I'm not beautiful, I'm not this, I'm not that. It wasn't until later on, as I came to realize that this is my body, and this is always going to be the shape that I have. I have a fast metabolism, and there's just certain health things that I have, and the fact that I eat like a pig and stuff, but it just kind of leaves my body. It doesn't necessarily go anywhere. I don't let it affect me anymore, because that point in my life was actually really, really bad. That was probably the worst point in my life. I've gone through some hardships, and I'm not going to, like, go into details to what happened, because it's not necessarily important, but I didn't like myself. I absolutely hated my body, and I hated my face, and I hated everything that anybody ever said to me. Anytime anyone would compliment me, I'm like, no, I'm not, you're lying. And I just never let anybody in. Anything positive, I would just shut out. I was a huge, huge pessimist, and to me, that was the worst part of my entire life. With your body, I think that it's very important that you let people tell you the things that they think about your body, not criticism, but positivity, because if you hate your body, then that will actually bring you closer to loving yourself and getting used to the fact that that is your body, and that is the only body that you will have for the rest of your life. Now, contrary to popular belief, every body shape is beautiful. I know that society says you have to be this, you have to be that, you have to be thin, you have to be curved, you have to have boobs that complement you and go out, and you have to have a butt that goes out but also bubbles, and it can't be jiggly, and it can't be firm, it can't be this, can't be that. It has to be the perfect butt, the perfect boobs, and the perfect waist. And there is no such thing. There is no such thing as the perfect body, or the perfect face, or the perfect this, the perfect that, the perfect anything. I don't think there is anything perfect. I say constantly, wow, she's so perfect, she's so this. And I find myself saying that at so many people. Any body shape that I think I like not just personal preference, but the way they carry themselves, just like I said earlier. Like, if someone's walking and they're like, you know, starting their stuff, completely wearing whatever they want, whether it's completely funky, whether it's like up to par with society's definition of beauty and style right now, or whether it's completely 90s, 70s, or futuristic. If they carry themselves with complete and total confidence, I'm automatically like, wow, that person's outfit is gorgeous, or wow, that person's body is amazing. I'd love to have their body, just because of how they carry themselves. And I think that it is so important that if you have body positivity, that you carry yourself nicely, because if you love your body, then everybody else around you will notice. If you're always positive and you're always complimenting people on their body, which I find myself doing, wow, you look beautiful today, wow, your body looks great today. If you find yourself saying things like that, so many more people will want to be around you. I know that I want to be around you if you are like that at all. And loving your body is hard. It takes a long time, and I'm still on the track to getting used to all the parts of my body, how small my boobs are, how small my butt is. thigh gaps. I know that everybody's like, wow, thigh gaps are so important, or wow, thigh gaps are amazing. I love thigh gaps. No one ever says, unless you have a thigh gap, I won't date you. Thigh gaps aren't important. I don't understand who came up with that. Who cares about thigh gaps? I don't understand why it's such a big deal to have thigh gaps. Really, it's not special. I don't understand. And it really stresses me out how society thinks today that unless you have a thigh gap and unless you have the specific body shape that I've been saying this entire video, big boobs, big butt, small waist, thigh gap, beautiful legs and calves and arms and toned everywhere, no flaws at all. I don't think it's important. I once saw this post. It was like, I'm not sure where it is because it was on my old Tumblr, which I deactivated because it was really depressing and sad, and I wasn't into it, so I deleted it. I called myself fat the other day to my boyfriend, and my boyfriend was like, "No, baby, you're beautiful." And I found myself wondering why I couldn't be both. I was in awe. I couldn't say anything. I was speechless. I find myself, again, saying that every body shape is beautiful, and I realized that I had hit what I thought was beautiful. I was just letting society tell me that it wasn't, and that is not something that you can do. Never, ever let anybody tell you that your body isn't beautiful and that you shouldn't care about your body, or you should lose weight, you should gain weight. If you yourself want to lose weight, if you yourself want to gain weight, if you yourself want to do something for yourself and for your body, not taking anything from what anybody else says to you, just out of pure motivation for yourself and for your body, then you go ahead and do it for yourself. It's not their body, it is your body. No one else can define what beautiful is for your body. As long as you love yourself and your body, nothing else matters. Nobody else's opinion matters. That's it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Whenever I am trying to be 100% myself and trying to preach something that I fondly agree with, such as body positivity, this is how my voice ends up. And I apologize for that if it bothers you, but I do hope you enjoyed the video. Me and the other girls do themes every single week, and we try and make the themes interesting for you guys. And I know that my videos are kind of long, and they're always kind of so far with the videos that we've made, my videos have been longer, which is super annoying sometimes, but I generally, if a video is long, it's because there's some points in it that I needed you guys to hear. With that being said, I will see you guys next week. I love you so much, and hasta luego. Au revoir. Aloha.